Welcome. Today we're going to be working on flourishes. There are three specific flourishes that we're going to be working on today. Those are wrist rolls, which are rolls that have your wrist move. There are releases, where the blade is released and then transitioned to the other hand. And there are also transitional moves, for example, bringing the blade to the other side, or bringing the blade transitioning from one hand to another. So we're going to start. We're going to keep the blade on silent today. So we're going to start with what is called either the Obi-Ani by some, it's also called the snake move by others. And we're going to do it in the very most basic way we can start. So to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to take the blade in one hand, and we're simply going to let the blade come down behind us and then in front of us. This is a basic figure eight. It's one of the first things you're going to learn, and almost everything you do from here is going to be based on some form of use of that figure eight roll on your wrist. Okay? So again, from here, release of the hand comes slightly open and allow the blade to flow in a very, very easy manner. And you're looking for the blade, if you look sideways here, you're looking for the blade to come flat across the body as much as possible. So you want to come flat across the body as much as you can. Okay? So we're going to start on this side here. Once we get this basic roll down, then we're going to come up and we're going to roll on the other side. Just turn your waist just a little bit, and it's going to be an upward roll on the opposite side. Again, basic figure eight. And the next thing we're going to do, once we get those two simple movements down, is we're going to transition from one to the other. So from here, going downward on the blade, and when I say downward, that means as if you were coming down on a strike, coming down towards your opponent or down towards the neck or towards the shoulder. Okay? Downward on the blade. And then from here, what's going to happen is we're going to bring the blade down, and now the blade's coming up on the opposite side. Again, very, very simple figure eight. And then now what happens is that the blade comes back across, down. So what we want to be able to do is simple figure eight on this side, transition to simple figure eight on this side. So you get both sides with one hand. Once you get that down, you want to do the same thing on the opposite hand. So from here, the same exact thing, going back and forth. And then we want to come across to the other side and up towards the other side. And then back to the same side over here. The very, very, very basic, simple move. The next move we're going to do is what's called an Obi-Ani. It's also called a snake transition. So from here, we're going to take the blade from here, and we're going to drop the blade. And this time, instead of going into the front, what we're going to do is we're going to put the blade in the back. And the blade's going to come behind you. So I'm going to turn around so you can see where the blade's going to go. From here, it's going to come back until the blade is straight up. Then you're going to lead with your elbow and come back around in front. So it will look like this. It'll come from here. The tip of the blade will continue making the circle. So again, from here, tip of the blade is going to continue making the circle. In the front, it will look like this. Here, and then back up. Again, here, and back up. Here, and back up. And I'm putting one extra spin in there just to keep your wrist in a simple position. You can do these without actually making the spin, and that is coming forward, backwards, and backwards. But you're going to find that that's a little bit complex on your wrist. It's easier to get that first movement in order to get it back to the right position. Okay? And the same thing you want to do, and make sure you do these on both sides with your hands, so this way you get used to having both transitions. From here. Again, and I'll do it from back to see what the back looks like. From here, as it comes down, lead with the elbow, back, lead with the elbow. Lead with the elbow. Okay? This move is going to get you to the next piece, which is the practice move. The practice move that we're going to do is going to consist of a spin on the side, the snake position on the back, and then now when it's coming up, the blade's going to come up, and it's going to transition to this side. And now we're going to bring it over the head and back down. So the whole move for practice will look like this. From here, back up, and back down. This move is going to get really quick, especially as you go with lighter sabers and things. These moves are very, very fast, and you'll see them actually in the movie, in the Star Wars movie, in Anakin versus Obi-Wan. You'll see that move from here. And they'll come back and forth. This whole transition is not normally considered an attack move or a combat move, but you'll see it in some of our videos that move is actually used in combat multiple times. So sometimes the blade will be here, and I want to move the blade back and then come back through in the attack. And so how that happens is you come across and you're hitting with the back of the blade while transitioning to the front. And you'll actually see that in some of the sparring videos. You'll see people do that. So again, this is called an Obi-Ani. From here, or snake. Behind, up, other side, back down. Try to get this very, very easy, basic move down. Once you get this down, you'll find that your wrist rarely gets locked up. What I mean by locked up is you go, I don't know what to do with it anymore. I don't know what to do with the blade. So this is the most basic of flourishes.